An Introduction to Triggers for Substance Use. Welcome. My name is Sally. In this video, we will discuss triggers for substance use. Let's start by noting that there are some positive triggers that provoke good feelings and memories. But, in this video, the primary goal is to discuss negative triggers for substance use. Negative triggers elicit intense emotions such as fear, anger, shame, or an unwanted behavioral response like substance abuse. Triggers for substance use are mostly described as the people, places, or things that lead to unwanted emotional or behavioral responses. In many instances, triggers have a strong sensory connection and are connected to sight, sound, taste, or smell. A person's triggers can be internal and external. Internal triggers like emotions come from within a person. External triggers like environments come from outside a person. Internal triggers for substance use include feelings, emotions, or memories that cause a person to think about or to crave an alcoholic beverage or drugs. External triggers for substance use can include activities, situations, or settings that cause a person to think about or to crave an alcoholic beverage or drugs. Triggers for substance use can vary from person to person, but there are some common triggers that frequently lead to substance use. Let's review people, places, and things, otherwise known as the most common triggers for substance use. Category 1, People. People like our peers can influence our substance use. Peer pressure or being around others who use drugs and alcohol makes it more enticing to engage in substance use. Being in unhealthy, Toxic relationships with people can also influence someone's substance use. Toxic relationships are often stress-inducing and characterized by different types of abuse. Involvement in toxic relationships can cause a person to seek substances as an outlet or relief from the toxicity. Category 2, Places. Environmental cues like sights and smells associated with certain places can become triggering. If substances are easily available in certain environments, those places can become triggers. Being in places where there is easy access to drugs or alcohol increases a person's likelihood of giving into cravings and abusing substances. Places where there are celebratory events like holidays, birthdays, and graduations can become triggers for substance use. At celebratory occasions, there is often an expectation that people will partake in behavior like drinking alcohol or casual drug use. Category 3, Things. For the sake of simplicity, it may also be useful to categorize feelings, behaviors, and mindsets as internal things. Let's further discuss things as triggers for substance use. Objects that evoke memories can trigger substance use. Objects are tangible items like pictures or a dealer's telephone number. Something like emotional distress or strong emotions, such as sadness, anger, or frustration can trigger substance use. For some, substance use is self-medication, a way to temporarily escape emotional or physical pain. The problem with depending on substances to alleviate emotional pain is that the pain tends to return once the effects of the substances wear off. The dependence on substances for pain management can cause a person to cycle through addiction in a constant effort to ease pain. Many individuals depend on substances to cope with stress and anxiety. Experiencing symptoms associated with co-occurring disorders can trigger substance use. In an effort to feel relief, sometimes people self-medicate with substances. This is especially true if the person has not been formally diagnosed or does not take their medications as prescribed. Boredom is another leading trigger for rampant substance use. Loneliness or isolation can trigger substance use. People may use substances to cope with feelings of loneliness or to facilitate social interactions. For some, substances give them courage to mingle or a chance to be in the company of others where they can feel a sense of connectedness. When substance use is a part of a person's daily lifestyle or routine, it can be hard to break the habit. For these individuals, substance use is a behavioral norm. You might wonder, why is it relevant to discuss triggers for substance use? Identifying and understanding triggers for substance use is crucial if a person wants to prevent relapse and experience long-term sobriety. Managing triggers is self-care that can improve a person's quality of life. there are some common ways to manage triggers for substance use. Once people understand their triggers, they can develop coping skills to address each trigger. Many individuals benefit from seeking the professional help of a substance use counselor or a therapist. Honestly, it might be a good idea to do any combination of suggestions for managing triggers. Remember, having a variety of coping skills maximizes a person's ability to manage triggers for substance use. Well, that's it. If the information was useful in any way, please like, comment, and subscribe. And, don't forget to visit the Quick Reference Code blog for worksheets, checklists, and other related printable materials. Thanks. Goodbye.